Hi Tappers! Today I want to ask you a question. Has EFT made a difference in your life? At the end of this video, you will see the testimonial video I made for Dawson, which highlights some of my experiences. So I'm sharing what I'm asking. I have another question. Do you share? Do you tell others about your experience? I know a big hang-up is how exactly to share, and another is fear of judgment or a bad response or being rejected when it's something that's so precious to you. And all of these are valid, and I'm not here to tell you what to do. I would like to ask you to think about something. Think back to what your life was like before having tapping, the things that ranged from mild annoyances to crippling emotions. What if you had never found your pathway to EFT? And what if you found that someone you know knew about EFT and didn't tell you? Again, this is not to guilt you. Everyone listens in their own time, and I believe in relying on your faculties to gauge that. This technique changed my life in ways that are hard for me to quantify. One of the reasons for the videos and why I'm revisiting so many of the basic techniques is, well, for one, we never outgrow them, right? But also so they can be shared, so the weight is off of your shoulders to come up with the right words. Want me to speak to educators or connect a lecture or session that Dawson has had with nurses or doctors or children? Or great, let me know. I'll do it, because they deserve to have the same freedom that we have from EFT, and you deserve to have the support that you need to do it in a comfortable way. So if you like these videos and the videos from Dawson, share, send a link, share on your Facebook, YouTube, your neighborhood group, your book club, etc. The world is looking for help from overwhelm right now, and these resources are free and easy to integrate. Let's be there for each other. Help me know how I can be there for you so you can feel comfortable with sharing too. Here's my testimony of EFT, and I'll see you soon. Hi, I'm Amanda, and I want to tell you a really great and very dramatic story. Do you know what it's like to go to bed every night and worry that you and your loved ones aren't safe? Do you know what it's like to feel fear every time you hear a noise that you can't identify or a face that you don't know? Trauma is a trap, and I spent a 35-year sentence not knowing how to escape. I experienced abuse as a very young child, and by the age of 19 had been abused by 7 different people. I had a 17-year-long chronic illness that left me in so much physical pain daily that sometimes my eyes would black out, and I was dependent on others for everything. I felt completely hopeless, alone, and entirely unworthy of the space that I took up. I felt guilty for being alive, but I persevered, and with help from a lot of people, I got better physically. But the guilt, the insurmountable fear, the nightmares, the invisible walls that kept me from everything that I wanted, they kept getting bigger. The aching hole in my heart wouldn't go away, and no matter what accomplishment I achieved, it was never good enough for me to feel good enough. I became obsessed with helping others, doing really great healing work in my profession, but I skipped myself. I was determined to fight for everyone else, that no one would ever feel as worthless or as broken as I did. I remember the day that I discovered what was hurting me so badly. I was casually lying on my couch on a lovely warm summer day. My daughter was playing calmly in the room, and I was reading this book. I read the symptoms of PTSD. As I did, I realized I had every single one of them. It shocked me. Could I have PTSD? I tuned into my body for the first time in a very long time, and I realized my casual pose was locked, clenched, and frozen. My heart was racing. I was hyper aware of my surroundings, and I knew exactly how far away my daughter was in case I needed to suddenly grab her and run. That book was written by Dr. Dawson Church. I attended an EFT seminar taught by him 2 months later, determined to learn more. When I left for New York to attend his class, I felt deeply torn, as part of me truly believed I wouldn't return to my baby alive. My brain told me I was taking so many risks, and every single one of them was overwhelming. My trauma had taught me that nowhere was safe. Everyone was dangerous, and nothing could convince me that that wasn't true. At Dawson's seminar, I learned that my brain wasn't broken and that the horrible inner thoughts and the nightmares that I had made perfect sense for what I had gone through in my life. I learned that this response could be brought on by something relatively small, that there are specific boundaries that, when breached, create a trauma response in the brain. You don't need my experiences to end up in the same place as me. I learned that there is a very specific way to release the brain from this response, and that EFT is one of the most effective techniques for it. So rather than hating my brain and feeling ashamed of my inner self, I began to have an understanding and an empathy, and I began to see a way out. 5 months after attending this class, I was hired to cater bodywork to a group of travelers in Paris, France. I only knew the people who had hired me. I didn't know any French, and the European SIM card I bought for my cell phone was spotty and sketchy. One particularly busy day, we were hopping on the public transit, which is a quick and somewhat chaotic experience. I was the only one who made it on. The doors closed, and I looked at my group, still standing on the platform, and I realized I didn't know where we were going. I couldn't remember the name of the hotel. I looked at my phone, no service, and I felt fine. I felt fine. I was in a safe place. I had the ability to find my way back or to find them, which ended up just being going down one platform and they met me there. But before EFT, I struggled to sleep every night because I felt the need to stay on guard in case I was attacked or in case someone tried to attack my daughter in our home. In this situation, all of those bells should have been ringing, and the reason they didn't is because of how EFT works. Dawson's class wasn't the first time I had heard of EFT or tapping, but it didn't work for me until Dawson's class. I wondered why, since it seems so simple. I learned that while it is easy, there are some very specific guidelines for it to be effective. Not everyone knows or teaches these. Dr. Dawson Church is the only one who teaches clinical EFT. In fact, he created it. Dawson took EFT techniques and has put them through the most rigorous clinical trials for the last 20 years so that he could document and explain what it does and teach how to be effective in applying it to yourself and others. There are over 100 clinical trials now that show this to be true. This is how, after 35 years of internal torture, I'm now free of it. And when something else comes up, I have confidence to do something about it. Now, instead of fearing what my daughter and I might encounter, I know I have a scientifically proven method to combat any bad experience that comes our way. And she will never have to know what being imprisoned by trauma is like. My journey didn't end after one class. I had learned so much, but I knew that if I really wanted to take this on, 5 days wouldn't make me a master. So I enrolled in Dr. Church's certification program. I was really impressed with the quality and the care that went into my education, my mentorship, and my testing to be sure that I was truly absorbing and applying clinical EFT correctly. By the time I graduated, I felt confident in my ability to lead an effective EFT session for myself as well as others. I no longer skip myself. The hole in my heart is now filled with love and gratitude, and I go to sleep smiling and I wake up excited. There is a need for healing. Now, more than ever, I encourage you to challenge everything that I've told you. Seek it out. Click on the link and learn for yourself. Having this certification gives me the knowledge that allows me to nourish my family and protect them in difficult and uncertain times. It allows me to work from home and truly make a difference in the lives of my clients. Dr. Church has several outlets for his certified practitioners, like his nonprofit Veteran Foundation or the Tapping Place, where after graduation, it's easy to start doing rewarding and well-paying work from home. I hope sharing my story has helped you in some way. After so many years of deep pain, it's really great to get to be a success story. I hope you get your success story too.